Good morning, America. This is Mark Hale with the Wilson Print Marketing Tip of the Day. Now, I wanted to ask you, what is the number one thing that's missing in your marketing efforts that's costing you actually lots of business? You know what it is? It's something I think you probably are aware of, but maybe you're not aware of the impact of it. And that is the use of good printed quality support materials that you can give prospects that are interested, and also mail out to clients that are interested in your services. Brochures, booklets, and stuff. Over the last, probably since 2008, there's been a big push for people to get to do more email and digital and, save the trees sort of thing and send stuff out electronically. The problem with that is it's so overdone anymore. I mean, the average person is receiving 250 to 300 spam emails a day. And if you're email marketing and that's your sole way of getting business or selling your product, you're missing the boat tremendously. You're actually hurting your business because so few of the emails that actually go out today are open and used. So if you send out a good targeted brochure to these prospects, you'll actually get through, because with direct mail, the post office delivers 100% of the time. And the last time I checked, just about everybody in the United States has a mailbox and receives their mail. So what do you do when you have a prospect that calls in your office, or maybe one of your sales guys talks to, and he's not ready to commit, he's not ready to buy yet? What do? Hand him something printed off on your office copier? He's going to talk to 3 or 4 or 5 other of your competitors, especially if you're selling a larger ticket item. Or are you going to email something and chance that it's going to get through, or they're going to get opened, on the email? It's very ineffective. So you design a brochure that you can hand the prospect. So there's some tips to designing a proper brochure that'll actually work, because there's effective brochures and there's ineffective brochures, and there's a technology to actually designing something, and you can't go to like a Vistaprint and use one of their online templates. That it's really a sucker's play when you do that. It's cheap, but the problem is there's no technology to doing it. You're just going to get something that basically is going to be ineffective, and your salespeople or whatever are not going to pass it out. And that's really a true test of how effective your brochures are, or your marketing material. If you've got boxes of it sitting on the shelf with 2 inches of dust on them, those were probably ineffective designed, and they didn't communicate the message, and they didn't do what was intended. Now, when you're designing a brochure, and I'll just give you a real quick design tip, okay? So you design around a purpose. Number one, what is the purpose of that brochure? Okay, is it to educate, inform? Is it to validate, a buying decision or a purchasing decision? Is it a brochure that just kind of lists several products and offers that you've got, programs that you offer in your business? So you start with the purpose of the brochure. So let's say the purpose is to help validate the sale and close the prospect. So you go about designing that brochure differently than you would that's an information or educational piece. Okay. So the second thing that you do is you have to use graphics, more graphics than you think. A brochure that's laden with a lot of copy and words usually doesn't get read. We're in a soundbite, phenomena in our society where people look and think in basically short little segments. So you have a graphic and photos that actually support the product message and the design element. And then the third thing is the quality of print that you do. So if you run it, most office copiers that you have will not print stuff at the quality that you need to do. And I'm equipped with it. I've got, several over $1 million worth of, digital equipment to print high quality brochures, and it doesn't cost very much. And the thing about it today, used to be when you were doing a brochure, you had to print thousands of these things to get the cost per piece down. That's not the case today with digital digital printing. You can print in smaller increments, and the cost per piece is very similar to what it was on offset, offset printing, where you would print, tens of thousands of these things to get the cost down. So you don't need to do that. So you don't need to have your stockroom loaded with brochures. It's going to take you, 10 years to use. So that's the marketing tip of the day. You've got to use a combination of digital with also analog or solid, tangible printing materials to help take your business to the next level.